2014 Hyundai Equus Signature. A car you buy new to perfectly recreate the feeling of borrowing your parents' used car.
I don't have a witticism or an awesome take, but I keep my dad jokes fresh in case a condom breaks. On the take? No, I'm never on the take. That would imply I could afford an Equus Tau V8.
2014 Hyundai Equus. The car you buy when you finally get the financial compensation the commercial promised. This is Korean luxury. It existed in the US for like a little bit and no one cared. On one hand, the Equus has more power than the Buick Regal GS, and the Equus is a naturally aspirated V8, so it doesn't have a blower, turbo, or anything. But the downside of the Equus is a complete absence of character. This car feels like a child's perception of an adult who has it all together. Their adultness is reassuring, but they're not exciting people to be around, at least for a kid. And so, driving this car is the automotive equivalent of your first Thanksgiving at the grown-up table. But all the conversation is going over your head because they're talking about stonks and disowned cousins you never met and never will until you need passes to FetishCon in St. Petersburg. So maybe you'll weigh in from time to time, but every one of your points is going to blend into the background like beige floral stripe wallpaper. So you zone out, and all the adult voices dissolve like the river 99.3, easy listening adult contemporary in the waiting room of the clinic. 2014 Hyundai Equus. This is a great car if you like listening to audiobooks. It's as if this car doesn't want to draw attention to the experience of its own operation. It's like a waiter who doesn't want to interrupt your conversation to take your order. Or a spouse who chooses every word carefully because they know the next argument could be the one that sends him back to Bumble. But to be fair to the Equus, you're not really paying for excitement. You're paying for the illusion of a nicer car. A more prestigious car. Honestly, you're paying to have that Mercedes experience for what is Hyundai money. If I had to describe the feeling of driving this, it's like a mash between a Mercedes S-Class and like a Toyota LS400 from the 90s. And I'm paying to be mistaken for a rich guy. One big positive for the Equus is that, for the most part, there are some conditions where this is the opposite, but it is a comfortable car, especially as a passenger. The back seat is like hanging out in the nice chairs at Cigars International, the ones that don't already have grooves from somebody else's ass in them. These cars are going to make great rideshare cars once they drop to about $10,000. From what we could find, the original MSRP of the Equus was around $62,000, but Mike got his for $42,000 new, which seems reasonable enough, although this car's real value is as the next affordable mid-luxury hand-me-down. It's like the Chrysler New Yorker for the next generation. It has that business class feel, because business class seats aren't that great when you pay for them, but when you get upgraded to them, hey, it's swank, it's awesome. It's like the complete opposite of those stiff antique desk chairs they make you sit in for catechism. Did anybody else go to catechism? I don't know, some people call it catechize. Even as a kid, you sit there thinking, how are you giving me homework? Your church. Look, confirmation class, catechism, whatever. You're already turning Saturday night into a school night because I gotta be here at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. Everybody else is playing Super Nintendo, and I'm here in this cold building learning why I'm a bad kid. Oh yeah, I guess I should probably talk about the specs. The Equus has a 5-liter GDI dual overhead cam DCVVT, that is dual continuously variable valve timing Tau V8, and it makes 429 horsepower and around 383 pound-feet of torque. All right, it's pretty darn close to a Chevy SS. You weren't expecting that. And it's matched to an 8-speed automatic transmission with Shiftronic, which is just another fake manual mode. It's got a drive mode select system with options for either normal, which is nauseous, sport, which is the best riding mode, although it's really firm, and then snow mode just nerfs everything. This is a rear-wheel drive car. Now, I don't know if all-wheel drives were options on these things. There's also electronic air suspension with continuous dampening control, electronic stability system with traction control, and brake assist, and 9 total airbags, including a roof-mounted side curtain airbag and driver's side knee airbags, along with features like lane departure warning, blind spot detection with rear cross traffic alert, and electronic active front head restraints. Hyundai Equus signature. Or is it Equus? I don't even care. This car's so boring. It's the official car of that married couple that just looks like each other now. Appearance-wise, Mike, the owner, put the Korean hood ornament on the front and put the trunk ornaments on the rear, which draws the eye away from noticing how scarce the Hyundai badging actually is on this thing. It's mostly just Equus or Equus badging. He says some people ask what it is, the people who actually care about cars. Because it's like this whole product line just fell through the grate of life. Inside you have a display screen, but it's not a touch screen, which is weird even for 2014. So it has this little clicky wheel down here just like a Mercedes. It also has a grocery bag holder in the trunk, which is not a clever idea, I guess, until you realize that there's just one hook there. And I can't think of many times I've gone grocery shopping and only got one bag. Even stranger is the dual rear window controls. You can control the alternative rear window from your seat in the back. Why would you give children that much control? It's just an open invite for the worst family road trip ever. He's putting my window down. Joey, you put my window up, I'm going to put your window down. And by the time you get to grandma's, the windows don't work anymore. And the only way to override this is for the driver to hit the window lock button, which just locks all 4 windows like normal. Fuel economy is rated at 15 city, 23 highway, and a combined 19. The car weighs 4,616 pounds. Despite the high horsepower, that's a fair bit of weight and has trouble moving it. I should say, move it off the line. Now, we're not filming this in the best of weather conditions. We either got snow on the road or the road's wet. But the traction control makes too many compromises to the point that it either nanny states the rear wheels or just lets them spin continuously. I don't get it. So the name. It comes from the Latin for horse dick. And at least it's better in the snow than other horse dick named cars. And the steering is generally better than General Motors. So even though the electronic throttle lags and hangs revs so that you don't really have very precise speed control at all, the thing can actually move when the path is clear. Back under the hood! Okay, so that's clearly the air cleaner over there. Because there goes into the throttle body. So what is this? This frickin' thing right here that goes nowhere. Air goes in here, gets filtered for nothing. No, wait a minute, this gets weirder. Because when you pull whatever this filter is out, when you pull this filter out, the dirty side faces away from your intake. So, where? But it doesn't go anywhere. The dirty side has no air getting to. Wait. It does have an intake here. So air is coming in here and going in that way. But that's your air intake. What is down here? The engine's trying to be a 1UZ. It can't. It's got this sound deadening on the engine itself to help shut it up. And then this one resonator has an air cleaner in it. And it has a little snorkel going somewhere underneath the radiator? I don't get this at all. Please, someone tell me what this is. But an Executive L has more personality than this Equus. The only thing it does really well is highway pulls. I mean, it does them really well. Watch this car get the lead out. After this white truck goes, nail it. Got it. Go, go, go. Whoa! Awesome. But straight line speed from a roll is the only move you have to have fun in this car. Everything else about this car is cold, dry mashed potatoes. eating out of a no-name square Tupperware container in the faculty room. And your lunch is 5th period, and you're not really hungry, but your prep period is 8th period, and you're not waiting around that long because by 7th period you're going to be hangry, and 7th period is your rowdy class, and word got back once to the PTA about your F-bomb at Kevin Fenstermacher. Why own this? I'm not going to be gazed upon with envy because this car looks like an NPC. An NPC so inconsequential you can clip right through him. Toyota, we made the most boring car ever. Hyundai, hold my beer. It's so soulless, I feel like I'm getting picked up from school in the 4th grade by a bad-smelling relative who asks me, "So, do you like school?" And I want to say, do I like school? Do I like being trapped in a building with sociopaths, rageaholics, gluttons, schemers, deadites, and that's not my classmates? Do I like classrooms that are air-conditioned in the winter and heated in the summer? Do I like teachers ranting to us, in so many words, about how their life would be better if it wasn't for us? Do I like a half pint of milk to wash down cardboard square pizza and wax beans? Do I like knowing that any complaint will be met by scolding and the sentence, "You don't know how good you have it"? Do I like putting on a look of normal contentment like Winston Smith to avoid conversations like this one? So I lie, and I say, "Yeah, I like school," and hope for no follow-ups. Well, the rear seats recline and that's nice, and the engine's really quiet, and the engine cover has sound deadening too. God, this car is boring.
Tonight we stand on guard for Hyundai Equus, a car that's nice but easy to forget, and the price will go down on Hyundai Equus, or no one will buy Equises again.